In June, the federal government declared September 30th the first National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, a day to honor the healing journey of residential school survivors and their families. It gives Canadians an opportunity to recognize and absorb the true legacy left by residential schools. Orange Shirt Day was first officially recognized on September 30th, 2013. The history stems back to 1973 when a young girl named Phyllis Jack Webstad attended the St. Joseph's Mission Residential School in British Columbia. Before attending school, she was gifted a brand new orange shirt from her grandmother. And upon entering the school, her new orange shirt was taken from her and replaced with a school uniform.
Many residential schools across Canada require the children wear uniforms, have their hair cut short, and be assigned a number, effectively removing their true culture and identities. Ms. Frances Sanderson, co-chair to the Toronto Police Service Chiefs Aboriginal Consultative Committee and manager of Anishinaabe Homes, encourages everyone to reflect on the impacts of this history and to take steps toward a better future.
My spirit name is Wild Rose, a name that was given to me by my grandmother. Today is a solemn day of reflection for all people. I have a request I'd like to make to all of you listening and watching today. I want to ask everyone to pause at some time this day and reflect on the impact residential schools had on generations of Indigenous people. We've all heard of the horrendous abuse that more than 150,000 children endured at the hands of the government, churches, and missionaries. Just know that every Indigenous person is carrying the memory and pain that was inflicted on the children that lived through this dark history, and we mourn those innocent babies that died and were lost. The government designated September 30th as a day of truth and reconciliation, a day to remember the past, and a day to ask that we all find ways to look to the future with truth, honesty, caring, sharing, and respect for all people who call Turtle Island, Canada, home. Remember those children. In their final slumber, they woke a nation.
The National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is a time for Canadians to acknowledge and respect the impact this dark history had and continues to have on the health of Indigenous communities. We all need to find ways to position the inclusion of Indigenous voices first if true reconciliation is to be achieved. The first step is understanding the history. I urge you to read the Truth and Reconciliation Report and its calls to action, which can be found online. Only by educating ourselves and our youth can we embrace the spirit and meaning of truth and reconciliation and ensure the legacy of residential schools is never forgotten. Miigwech.